I credit this one change as being the key that really unlocked the door to multiple six figures in our web design agency. And here's what it is. Do you ever get these clients that come in and they're just kind of like the headache clients? You know, they're the ones that it seems like they have a headache and they just want to give the headache to you too, where they come in, they just start telling you all of the things that they want you to. Here's the website I want it to look like this. Here's how many pages we need or whatever. And it's really a very traditional sounding web design kind of discovery meeting. And they're just kind of telling you all the stuff that they want. Well, if you take the client at face value and just do the things that they say, you'll end up undervaluing your work and leaving a ton of money on the table, and the client's ultimately going to leave unsatisfied as well. It's really a lose-lose for everyone involved because the client doesn't really just want the website. They ultimately want paying customers out of it, but they need three things. And if you don't give them all three things, then they're going to leave feeling unsatisfied and probably won't end up hiring you. And if they do hire you, it'll be for a lower rate than what you're really worth. The three things that the client wants, they want the online presence, which is going to be like the website, the branding, the logos, and all of the design stuff. They're going to want traffic that comes to and through that online presence. And they're going to want to convert that traffic into sales. And if you have all three pieces in place, you've got a really compelling solution to offer. If you don't, then the client's going to be left wanting more. And the reason that I think it's important to point this out is because a lot of times people say, oh, well, all the client really wants are more sales, which is true. Ultimately, they want more sales, but they want the sales within the domain of your expertise, right? So like if you said, something crazy, like I can get you more clients by sending out smoke signals or something crazy like that, they would still go to somebody else to build a website, get traffic, and convert that traffic into sales. And they would just be happy with the fact that you're getting them clients through this smoke signal idea, but they'd still want to go and get a website and everything from it too, right? So when somebody comes to you, it's important to realize that it's really those three components that they're after. They're after the online presence. They want to send traffic to and through that presence into their business as paying customers. And if you can provide that three-step process, you've got a really powerful offer there. The problem is, it's very difficult to provide the second two steps, right? Like, where's the traffic going to come from? How do we bring them in? And how do we convert that into paying customers? That ultimately comes down to marketing and strategy. And where a lot of web designers are kind of running off the rails today is treating kind of the web design business as if it was still a few years ago, where all we needed to do was worry about the first step, like the design and the branding and the website, without regard to the traffic and the customers. So what you need to do is you need to figure out how can I bring all three of those things together into one package and offer that as like a completed solution to the client. Now, the tricky part though is what happens when the client comes in and they start telling you all this stuff and you've never worked with anybody like that before. Maybe it's somebody who's trying to, maybe they run an RV campsite and they're just trying to get more traffic there. Or maybe it's like a disc golf kind of a thing, training camp or something like that. And you're like, never worked with someone that does that before. And so you don't really have a lot of expertise or any case studies in that space. It's really hard to come up with those second two stepping stones, the traffic and the conversion to customers, if you've never done that before for the client. So what ends up happening is people tend to fall back into doing like a discovery kind of a meeting where you're like, oh, tell me what you want. And we'll kind of go back and forth and creatively come up with the solution right now, either in the meeting itself, like off the top of your head, or if not that, you'll at least say something like, okay, well, let me take everything you just told me. I'll put together a proposal, and then you pack your strategy into the proposal. But either way, you're giving away the strategy for free, even though the strategy part is really the most valuable component to the whole thing. It's those second two steps. It's how do we get traffic to and through the website, and how do we convert that traffic into paying customers? And then when you put that along with the fact that you also just built a really cool online presence for them, which is the logo, the website, tying in social media and everything, you get that three-step process in the mix. You've really got something there. But most people have a really hard time with those second two steps because they're trying to do it on the fly, right off the top of their heads. So what I'm suggesting is a much, much better way, and this is really the key that unlocked the door to multiple six figures of revenue for us, is coming up with the solution first. Right? So like before you meet with the client, before you get the referral, before you do anything with regard to a particular project, figure out what the solution is first, right? So that implies that you're focusing, you're picking a niche, you're defining the target market. And a lot of times it feels uncomfortable to do that. And I understand that it's tempting to think, oh, well, I'll be able to catch way more fish if I throw a bigger net. But the market is not the net. Like, you can have as big of a net as you want. You can't throw it over the entire ocean. You know what I mean? So the market is the water, not the net. So you want to shrink the water, and then you catch all the fish in that spot, right? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to define the market so that when you meet with somebody that comes to you from that space, you have those last two steps. You say, well, this is how we can get traffic to and through your website, and this is how we convert that traffic into clients, paying customers, and now you've got the solution, right? But in order to do that, you have to flip it. You have to really do web design backwards from the way that the traditional web agencies are set up. Traditionally, it's a solution last model where it's like, okay, we get a lead from somewhere, we have that discovery session, and then we creatively come up with a solution off the tops of our heads. Flip it and do the solution first, and then meet with the client, and then present how your solution actually does those three things. How you get a rockin' awesome online presence that then enables you to have something to drive traffic to and through, and then you actually convert those clients or those leads into paying customers. That's what I'm referring to as a solution-first agency. I dropped a video course about this thing. I put a link in the description. It's totally free. Check it out, and it'll show you exactly how to build your own solution-first agency so that you can come at these projects in a new way so that everybody wins. Because if you do it this way, you will get paid a lot more. How much more? Based on the types of people that I've been working with through DoubleStack, sometimes it's like 400% more. Like, it's like taking a $2,500 project and turning it into like a $10,000 client, because you end up having this ongoing relationship with them where they can pay you month after month after month for those second two steps, for driving the traffic to and through the website and converting that traffic into sales. Whereas if you don't do those second two things, you're probably just going to be doing the first thing, and you're leaving a lot of money on the table, and you aren't serving the client at the level that they really need from you, right? They need 3 steps, right? They need the online presence, they need the traffic, and they need the sales. So check out the link in the description, and you'll see how you can build a solution-first agency, and that will make all the difference. If this sounds cool to you, go ahead and thump the thumb for me, or check out this next video, and I'll show you exactly our 4 ACEs formula that really dives into more detail on exactly how to build a solution and what 4 things you need to look for in that solution. Awesome. So either check the link in the description or check this next video. Either way, I'll see you in just a minute.